Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's Monday, and it's time for an update, but first, maybe we should clean this up a bit. Okay, that took a little bit of work. If you haven't guessed, we got both rain and wind last night. The good thing, though, is it may have, with all those leaves I just raked up, we may have cleared the canopy up above the magnolia tree, which might let in some more sunlight, which will be great for the garden. So I don't really mind moving all those leaves around. Gardeners should actually be here tomorrow. I don't know if you can see in the distance there, there's a big pile. I'll let them actually pick them up from there. Just gotta hope that the wind doesn't blow them back where they were. But anyway, pulled a bunch of them out of the pots. Time for the update. Let's see. Not a whole lot has changed. Those that were growing are getting a little bigger. A good amount of wind. It actually blew over my little whirlybird there. That's why I stuck it in a pot for now. I'll probably try and get it back into the ground soon. Beyond that, let's see, the water bottles over on the side, up on the windowsill, those are doing nicely. Everything's growing. Even the coleus is a little bit bigger than it was last week. It's slow, but it's going. Oh, and there was one other thing I wanted to show you. Actually, first I'll mention the picture of the week. I wanted to show you a nice little sunset picture I took. I had to pause there while somebody passed by. Sunset picture that I took at my parents' place in the past week. One of the little experiments we did, I kept looking at a pine tree and it had so many dead needles, and I had seen gardeners in the past that would just take their leaf blowers and push them up into at least some of these smaller shrubs here and try and clear out some of the leaves that have fallen. And I thought, hey, why not? Why don't I try and blow some of the dead needles out of that pine tree? Well, it really greened up the tree because there was a lot of it there. So when you looked at the tree, you saw the green needles and the dead needles. And blowing so many of the dead needles out was a really good thing. At least I think it is. Now, I don't want to recommend that everybody tries it, but it's an interesting little thing that I tried. The one thing I would warn you about is if you're using a leaf blower and you have to hold it up at head height to get enough height with the hose to blow into the tree, you could damage your hearing. Those things can get loud, so be careful of that. Now, on to the other thing I was about to show you. Is I was out walking earlier this week, and I'll see if I can find a picture and put it up to show you. But I saw this interesting tree, kind of like a fern, which I remember from back in the days when I lived on the East Coast. We had ferns in the backyard because it was a dark backyard. But it was a tree that looked kind of like a fern. And I looked at it, and for a moment I thought, hey, there's apples growing in that fern tree. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Turned out it was this. These are the seed pods. So I grabbed one of the seed pods that had fallen but has not cracked open yet, because I don't know what the seeds are going to look like. But once that thing is open and I can get the seeds out of it, I'm going to go ahead and try and plant it and see if I can grow that tree. Beyond that, we already talked about the water bottles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do a couple more water bottles and put them up in the kitchen, and if I get that, and if I get the kitchen looking clean enough, I'll show you a picture of that. But I'm kind of curious. I have a couple of artificial lights there. They're not grow lights, they're just regular white LED lights, but they're just kind of to light up the kitchen area, and they're on a timer all day long. This goes back to last year when I was trying to grow stuff in the kitchen. I finally got outside and got a chance to do that. But I'm going to go back to the kitchen and we're going to try a few little experiments there. So that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much to show you. I apologize, this has all been one shot here. But hey, it is what it is. I hope that you're having a good gardening season, or you're probably wrapping up if you're anywhere where it gets cold. This is Southern California. We don't really worry about cold too much around here. Last night was kind of unique. We got a lot of wind and rain, and like I said, that little whirlybird thing there blew over because the wind was so strong. but the good thing is it did clear out the tree. So I'll leave you with that this week, and as the Budget Gardener signing off, saying may your thumb be green.